Welcome, viewers. A penny saved today creates wealth for tomorrow. With this motto and mantra in mind, for the next 1 hour, I'll be briefing you on a very relevant topic for today, which is wealth creation. So, before starting the session, I would like to thank IEPFA Authority for giving me this opportunity to deliver this knowledge series for your esteemed viewers. So, not wasting much of the time, let's dive into the presentation. So, before the presentation, I would like to just set up a layout what I'll be briefing on the entire presentation. It will be of approximate an hour. And during the presentation, I would be briefing you upon the importance of wealth creation. What is the meaning of the wealth creation, what is its importance, and definitely what are the strategies which could help you to create wealth. So let's deep dive into the presentation. So first is wealth creation, meaning, importance, and strategies. So to begin, there are two basic questions which comes in our mind. What is wealth and what is wealth creation? So if I go to a plain vanilla Oxford meaning, first I'll take the literal meaning. For the wealth, it's abundance. Anything which is in abundance is called wealth. So for example, I can have 100 acres of farm inherited from ancestors can be a wealth for me. But since we are talking in financial terms, so anything which is related to money becomes a wealth, abundance of it. So say for example, it can be cash, it can be gold, it can be real estate. So abundance of this is called wealth. Now again, a literal meaning of wealth creation is anything which helps in increasing the debts and reducing the debts over the time. So again, say for example, I have certain assets. Say for example, I have a 10 lakhs of rupees lying cash in my account, and say for example, I have a 1 lakh of rupees which is I am earning per month, and there is a debt of me which is around 50,000 per month. So if I am earning 1 lakh rupees and I'm a debt of there is a 50,000 per month, that means I have 50,000 which is required, which I can save and create wealth. So this was all a basic meaning. But let me tell you, wealth is a very relative term, very relative term. For me, the meaning of wealth can be something. For other, it can be something else. So for example, for someone, wealth can be, owning a apple orchard in Shimla, or can be a penthouse in South Delhi, or you can say a retirement home in Chandigarh or in Dehradun. For another, wealth meaning of wealth could be he could simple living, he could satisfy his family, he can maintain his child education, he can create a small house for him. So that this can be a definition of wealth for a normal person. So it's a very relative term, depends upon person to person. So what is wealth creation? Wealth creation in simple terms, I would say, maintaining a life standard which you are currently having, and you have to maintain the same life standard after an age of when you are at the retirement age. Say for example, when you are at after 60, so you have to create the same life standard of living. So you have to save money in such a manner that you are able to deposit or create wealth in which you can so that you can maintain the same life standard after the 60 years of age. Now the important point here is just earning more money cannot create wealth. You have to invest this money in a right asset class. So right investment, choosing the right investment is very important. And again, the time horizon, you have to give your investment a particular time so that it can grow in multiple folds. So during the later on in the presentation, I'll be briefing you upon the compounding effects also, how the small saving, frequent savings on regular intervals can create exponentially increase your wealth during the times to come. So a very simple quote given by Warren Buffett: if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will have to work till you die. Very simple, a very nice statement told by a stalwart in this industry in the terms of investment. He said if you cannot think how you can save your money which you are currently earning, you cannot create wealth. Now, the key objective of the wealth creation is the ability to generate wealth passively by investing money that has been earned previously. So, how can you create wealth? You can create wealth in two manner. One is by profession, and profession is how in profession by your earnings that you earned by your profession. So, whatever you earn, if you cannot save it and channelize in a proper asset class or a proper product, I would say, wealth cannot be created. So, if you channelize in a proper manner, the savings grow over the time and add wealth to the investor to achieve his short and long term goals. Now, how to choose the right investment for creating wealth? Now, I would like to quote few examples out here. I have used multiple jargons till now. Like for example, time horizon. I have used. You have to have right investment, right asset class. So what is the right investment? How to choose the right investment? There is plethora of investment products available. I would say there are SGB available, sovereign gold bonds are available. There is equity available, derivatives are there, commodity is there. You have post office schemes are there. There are multiple products which are available for you to invest in market. How to choose the right investment? What should the product that should be it in my portfolio so that it can garner better returns for future and help me grow my wealth. Secondary, the safety of our investment is also important. It should not be like that when I need this money at the time, the returns are not there. So safety of the investment is very, very important. In Indian context, everything is to safety. Everyone wants good returns, good wealth, but completely secured. It is also possible. During the course of the presentation, I'll tell you how can you achieve it. And you have to prioritize your growth of your investments. And that point is also very important. Now, I would like to focus on the main two hurdles that is very important for the wealth creation. Now, inflation and tax. These are the two major hurdles which really, these are the major two hurdles which really stops you of your growing your wealth, stops in growing your wealth. I'll quote very simple examples in it. Say for example, you are earning 100 and your earning grows by 10%. Your salary increased by 10%, so it becomes 110. Now, earlier your expenses were rupees 60 and your saving was 40. When you were earning 100 rupees, your expenses were rupees 60 and your savings were 40. Now your income increased by 10% yearly basis. Say for example, so it went to 110, whereas inflation went to increased by 8%. So what is inflation? Inflation is nothing but the value of the commodities which got increased, and when government calculate and it comes out to be a figure which is an yearly quoted, that this percentage is the inflation that has got increased. But if I talk about in real terms, it is much more than that. So again, I'll quoting few example of it. For us, in a whole sense, the inflation has got by 8%. But if you see it in the real terms in your own scenario, I'll quote two example for it. Suppose, for example, my child education every month was going, say for example, 2,000 rupees. Next month, it's started going 2,400. In absolute terms, someone say it's just hardly 400 rupees increase. But if you go in percentage terms, it is around 25% that has got 20% that has got increased. So it's a 20% hike that has got increased. Similar fashion in the commodities, if you go in the household commodities, say for example, I'll say the current was mustard oil. I'll say a year and a half year back it was around 110 or 120 or 130. Now currently it is 250. It's a 100%, almost 100% hike. So again, inflation from a general perspective, it's hardly 8%. We'll say it's just 8% that has got increased. But in absolute terms, when you start calculating according to your income, you will find it is approximately 20 to 25% which is hitting. So it is not affecting your savings, because you have gained 10 rupees, your income was 100 rupees and you have garnered 10 rupees, your income got increased by 10 rupees, but your expenses got increased by almost 15 to 20%. So it has leveled, it has again came to a level field. There is no extra saving that has been done. Now, since you have to create wealth, so you have to make sure that these of my investments, this is my savings, should get channelized in such an asset class which not gives me a returns also, but beats the inflation, and as well as takes care of my taxes also, and also takes care of the security of the investments. It should be secured also. So these are two, three factors which should be taken care. Now again, here is a one catch. Investment, right investment depends upon the age you are into. If you are at younger age, definitely yes, you have a capability to take risk, you can take risk. But similarly, if you are in the age of, I would say, 25 or 30s, you can take risk, you have a risk capability, so you can take risk. Now if you are into age of 40s or 45s, the responsibility is there, you have a family to take care, you have a children education to take care, right? So you cannot take so much of risk. So investment scenarios changes with the age, right? So if you are in 25 years of age, definitely yes, you can take bit of risk, you can have your investment more into equity, less into debt. Whereas if you are on a later stage, you should have into more into debt and lesser into equity. A very simple formula which runs in industry for this is, suppose it's 100 minus your age. So suppose I'm at 25 and I subtract it by 100, so it's 75. So I can have my portfolio 75% in equity and 25% into debt. This is much exposure I can take as a risk capable. Now similar, if I went to the age of 40, then it's become 60-40. So I can take 60% in equity and rest 40% in the debt. So as soon as my age start increasing, my exposure in the equity start decreasing and exposure in the debt start increasing, because I need my investment to be more secured on later stage rather than risky. Another hurdle which I was talking about is tax. No, tax is also a very important thing. When your income increases, your tax bracket changes, and it can bring an entire change in your portfolio. I'll quote you a very small example. For example, I was earning 14 lakhs rupees a month. So I was in a, say for example, 20% or 15% of bracket. And if my earning in a year end, my salary got increased by 2 lakh of rupees, it went to 16 to 17 lakh, I will straight away comes into the 30% of bracket, right? So the tax bracket has got increased tax. So again, my saving will get decreased automatically because the taxation part has increased, right? Earlier, say for example, I was earning 14 lakhs, so I was giving around approximate 3 lakhs of income tax, or tax I would say. And suddenly when I reached 17 lakhs or 17 lakhs, it's hardly increase of 3 lakhs, and whereas the taxation effect is, now it is 5 lakhs of tax that you have to give. It is, you are in 30% bracket, right? So you have to give 5 lakhs of rupees tax. So in fact, what has happened is increase of 2.5 lakhs has decreased original income by 50,000 if you calculate it. So this is the effect that we have to take care. So there are multiple factors which we take care when we are planning for a wealth creation. So very important, I talk about the two hurdles, that is inflation and the tax. So whenever we are channelizing our savings, we have to take care of these two hurdles. We have to take care of the inflation, otherwise we cannot create wealth, and we have to take care of the taxation part also. Now I will quote one more example, how inflation can erode your wealth. How inflation can erode your wealth. Can I have the slide please? Now, worth of 1 lakh in future, I am taking a very nominal inflation rate, which is 6% inflation. I have taken a 6% inflation rate. So if you are currently having 1 lakh of rupees and you do not do any investment, during a tenure of, you can say approximately 20 years or 25 years, it will turn to 11,000 of rupees. So whatever you are spending currently does not mean you can buy the same thing at the same value after 20 years, because the inflation will erode the thing. So a very small example that I gave you prior, around 5 minutes back, was this of mustard oil. It was around 110 or 120 2 years back, and now currently it's 250. Same with common LPG cylinders and multiple items. You take any commodity, in the last 3 years they have increased drastically. Very simple examples. A very simple example I like to quote you. Say for example, you were our metro charges in the last 3 years, it has doubled. It has doubled almost 100%. Earlier I used to travel and it used to cost me 36 rupees or 40 rupees. Now it is costing me 72 rupees. So it has doubled. So you can see, that inflation is increasing only by just 8%, but our expenditures and our environment expenditures, which we currently dealt with, are increasing at much higher rate. Much higher rate. So there has to be certain things, which should there has to be certain thing which should help us in creating a wealth, because expenses are increasing at such a rapid manner, whereas the salaries or the income is not increasing. So savings cannot increase. If savings cannot increase, we cannot create you cannot multiply your wealth. So definitely, yes, wealth cannot be created. So we have to channelize the entire our financial plan. We have to entire budgeting, we have to plan. How can I save? How can I expense? You have to channelize if you really want to create wealth. So how can you achieve wealth? Well, wealth creation goal. There are only three commandments. This is the only three things that you need to follow as a novice investor. You don't have to go into deep dive into the jargons. The only thing is, you have to be regular, you have to be disciplined, and it has to be long term. These are the three things that you need to take care. So I'll be briefing each point in the next slide. See, I'll tell you, I'm talking about investments, but let me tell you, let's not misinterpret the word investment with wealth creation. Investment is a very small part, whereas wealth creation, if I say, it has a very large meaning. It controls a lot of things. Investment is a very smaller, you can say, it's a stepping stone to a wealth creation. It is stepping stone to a wealth creation. Investment is just, you have taken the money and invested in something, whereas wealth creation is something which takes care of all your needs, all your goals, whether it's short terms or it's long term. It takes care of all of your needs. So it takes care of your all the financial liabilities, and also at the end of when you are at retirement age, is take care of your standard of living as well. So what it takes care into a lot of things, like patience is always there. You have to have patience when you are creating wealth. The patience is required, right? Then time horizon, you have to give a specific time if you want to create wealth. Then taxation, you have to take care of your taxation. Wealth creation also takes care of the volatility of the market. When you are planning to create wealth for your in future, you have to take care how the volatility of the market will be taken care. While am I when I'm saving in a particular asset class, will it be taken care, right? So then a compounding effect. So these all things grouped together creates wealth, when these all things are channelized in a proper manner. So as I say about the three commandments, that it has to be regular, it has to be disciplined, it has to be long term. Regular in the sense, you can as I said, you can have a small amounts. You should keep on investing in investment. I give you my very short example. I want to quote you of mine only, what I do in small, when I'm talking about regular and small investment. So what I do is, whenever I am at month end. Say for example, there are 6 to 7 days, remaining in my month end. So say for example, I'm at 25th of the month, or at the 26th of the month, and I have realized that I have there are 6 days remaining, and I have, say for example, 30,000 bank balance in my account, and I know it 20,000 can take care my day to day activities for the next 7 days, and after 7 days again, I have a source of income. On the first or second, I'll have my salary credited or whatever. So again, the bank balance will be there. So what I do is, since I have analyzed that 20,000 will be, I'll able to cater 20,000 for the next 7 days or 6 days. So what I do is, 10,000 or 5,000 I straight away transfer to my NPS account, that is National Pension Saving Accounts. I transfer it to them, because it's hardly making me a difference whether it's 30,000 in the account or 25,000, because I am aware that this 25,000 is going to take care of my daily needs for the next 7 days. So I deposited 5,000 amount. So I keep on doing at every month, any time of interval. I used to keep on looking how much amount I can shift it to some other investment avenues, so that it not harms in my day to day expenses, and also gets converted into some investments also. So by transferring of mine of rupees 2,000 or 3,000 at the end of the month, it hardly makes a difference, any difference in my day to day expenditure. And whereas the difference that has made is, this is a small frequent investment that I have made to a particular NPS account. So this is very important. So these frequent small savings, I can assure you, if you garner this, or you inculcate this, definitely it creates wealth. Because it's like a pebble in a crow story. You keep on dropping small pebbles. It doesn't matter it's what of size, it's what quality, nothing. You have to have a frequent saving. Yeah, right asset class is important, but you have to have a frequent saving, which is important, that is regular. You have to keep on, and the day will come, the water will come out, so the wealth will rise. So my point is, the wealth will rise. You have to keep on investing. Small frequent amount investment for a long term creates wealth. No issues in that. Now, discipline. The point number 2 that I would like to highlight in the PPT, that is discipline. Discipline is that if you have inculcated a habit of depositing something in every month, you have to maintain it, whatever may come. You have to maintain it. I'm not talking about a very worst scenario, but for a general life of I would say a human being, if he can save certain amount for a regular period and a disciplined manner, that he has to do it every month. It should not be ki he does it for some point of time and then stop doing it. No, it cannot create wealth. Again, the pebble and the crow story. You have to keep on dropping the stone if you want your water level to rise up. You cannot be, after dropping 4 stone, you cannot stop, say, and keep on waiting here the water level will rise. No, nothing. It will not happen like this. It has to be frequent. It has to be long term. So the third point, which I made in the presentation, that is long term. Again, it caters to wealth creation. So all 3 points are very important. It has to be regular. It has to be disciplined. It has to be long term. Very important. All the 3 points very important. And if we follow, these 3 commandments, definitely wealth creation takes place. Now, what really matters? As I told you, saving regularly is very important. Even a small amount saved regularly is good. Whatever it is, even a 500 saving, 100 rupees a saving, there are a lot of investment opportunities available in which you can, invest 100 rupees also per month, which is a very nominal thing. You can go up to 1,000 or any amount. But what my point of saying is that there are avenues available in which you can, invest a small amount also. Then the save in the right asset class. Now this is very important. This will dictate how much wealth you create in the right asset class. Now the right asset class depends upon multiple factors. First of all, your saving has to be get attached to a goal. For example, I would like to save for my daughter's marriage, or can be for my children's education, or can be for a home. So the goals are different. Now, goals can be short term also, goals can be long term also. So if I talk about short term goals, say for example, in the coming 7 months or 6 months, I have my child engineering fees due for the semester, coming semester. So which will cost me around, say for example, lakh of rupees. So what should I do? And currently I am having a 90,000 of bucks. So in spite of putting it in the keeping it in the bank, if you can put it, there are short term funds available, debt funds available, which are secured also. There are liquid funds available which are secured also, and gives you a good return of 6% approximate, 6 to 6.5% approximate. You can invest in that funds for the 6th or 7th month. Higher liquidity is there in the market. You can withdraw this amount any point of time. So if you are having currently, say for example, 90,000 of rupees, and you invest it in a liquid for the next 6 to 7 or 8 months or a year, whenever the child fees is due, I will consider this as a short term. I consider anything which is less than 5 years, I consider it as a short term only. So there are multiple funds available. You can invest in it, will garner you some good interest rate, or I would say the returns of 6%. So at least, instead of lying your in the bank account and giving you approximate 3 to 3.5% of return, if you can invest this amount in another asset classes, it is secured also and can give you double the return of it. So suppose for example, in a bank it is getting 3.5%. So in, I would say, in a liquid fund, if you invest it, it can give you around 6% of the returns as well. So again, this is a short term goal. Now I'm talking about a long term goal. Long term goal can be a retirement income. So say for example, currently I am at 30 or 35. So two things which are 100% sure that is going to happen in our life is, number one, that is we are going to retire, and number two, our working capacity will decline for sure. We are not going to work in a similar fashion that we used to work right now with the same enthu and the zeal. If you think you are working right now, you would be able to continue that zeal in at the age of 70. That is impossible. Whether you are in a profession, whichever profession, you can say, say for example, I would say I am a doctor, I can keep on practicing till 70, 80, right? You can. Or for a job, if I am in a job, or definitely I'll get retired at 60. So I can have, there are two, three options. One, I can have pension, and second, I can have, the pension amount also. But there is again a catch. If you have taken, during the tenure, if you have taken any loan from the pension to build your house or something, then this amount also get decreased at the age of 60. So you have to plan everything. So whatever you are spending now, can we, can we channelize these expenses? Can we reduce these expenses? These are the important factors which one should keep on thinking and keep on working on it. You have to reduce your expenses at any cost. If your expenses will keep on increasing with regards to the earning